Hi, this is Chris Town at County Hall in Maidstone on a very reasonable evening of Wednesday the 5th of December 2023, and I'm just going to show you the Christmas lights in Maidstone this year. If I pan away from County Hall, there is Maidstone East Station with the Wetherspoons pub, the Society Rooms over Threadhead there, and I'm going to walk down Week Street and show you the lights and then onto the High Street. And also I'm going to stop at one or two places and give some memories of those places as what they meant during my life. So anyway, I don't know how long this video will last, but let's go and see what we can find. On my left approaching is the St Francis Roman Catholic Church. I think I've been in there once, and that was for a funeral. The society rooms are over on the left. Quite a few people in there in this pre-Christmas season. We have a Nepalese restaurant there, and this building here was a long time ago a pub known as the London Tavern. It was later a music venue known as the Soul Cafe from about 1998 to the early 2000s, and it is now this restaurant which goes by the name of Mama Fifi's Italian Trattoria. And the thing I like about this place is you always seem to have, well, it's not happening at the moment, music like Louis Armstrong and Tony Bennett and Ella Fitzgerald and all that sort of stuff blasting out, but that's not happening at the moment. Now, I'm not sure which unit it might have been, but my first ever job, a Saturday job, was in a shop called Dale's, which was a clothes shop. And I'm pretty sure Dale's was somewhere around here. Anybody who knows the area well and can think back 40, 50 years might remember Dale's, and they might well remember the manager of Dale's, Big Tony. Hayden's Pharmacy have a nice Christmas tree with lights on it. There was talk this year of councils not having money for Christmas lights, but Maidstone Council certainly seem to have come good, although most of the displays are the same. This is a new place here, the Topic, which is an African restaurant, bar and lounge. Haven't been in there. Right, and now we come to a place that's very dear to my heart as a workplace, and that is the shop Adam's Barbers there. Many, many years ago that was... No, it wasn't Balkits the Bakers. Balkits the Bakers was further down. Actually, that might have well have been where Dale's was. Anybody watching this video who knows this area will have to remind me if they can in the comments. German doner kebab shop there. So what they've given us this year is these lights with this sort of semicircle is most of it, and they extend down Week Street, down L Street, and with the exception of this bit in the middle that I'm going to come up to. This was Morrison's, used to be Cheeseman's years ago, and that was a department store. I think it was known as Dunning's as well later on. The United Reformed Church here. fact, they seem to have, no, perhaps they haven't turned the canopy of lights off. Right, now we are definitely now. King Barber here, this was definitely Balket's the baker's, where we used to help with making the bread and donuts and things as a Saturday boy. On and off here between 1978 and 1980. There used to be a shed out the back where we used to keep all the boxes of jam and the flour and all that sort of stuff, boxes of yeast. So as you can see, looking back, those circular lights, there's three back there. And as we come down Week Street, I think Harlequin Records was there, and then I think later it was Our Price. Along here somewhere, I might be wrong, but Harlequin Records and Our Price were around here at the time. And you might, if I stroll up to that what's that style of architecture? Art Deco, that's it. The Art Deco architecture on top of that building there may give away that was Woolworths, because a lot of Woolies had that sort of Art Deco architecture on the top. Avant-garde, of course, is a term in music. And then when you get to the middle here, you've got this rather nice canopy over the top, which really it's the centerpiece of the display, and this is the centerpiece of the well, it's the centre of Week Street really, because you've got Earl Street and the Fremlin Walk here. You've got this tree there, and looking down towards the Fremlin Walk, another one of those lights, and then they've got their own light display. Looking down Earl Street, as you can see, they've got those semicircular displays. Another look at that again, the canopy over to WH Smith, which is where the post office is. And then we've got Wendy's Hamburgers, which hasn't been open that long. Haven't been in there, but I remember Wendy's back in the 1980s in London when I used to go to football, and I used to walk all the way to the ground. I used to go into Wendy's along somewhere in London, somewhere between Victoria and Shepherd's Bush, you know, QPR football ground, but in the Kensington area. So view back towards that canopy there. And we've got the last couple of circular light displays in Week Street, although the one at the start of Week Street is more of a straight line than a circular design with Merry Christmas in lights on the top of it. The value store, years and years ago, that was Timothy White's. For those of you who can remember Timothy White's, that was where Timothy White's was. What is now the value store was Timothy White's. And we're now at the end of Week Street, and we're coming into the High Street. As you see, the lights continue. Those single displays on lampposts round to the left hand side, and then you've got those singular displays on lampposts on the right hand side going way down there, and then you have this rather grandiose and well lit Christmas tree, and the lights, as you can see, go right down towards the bridge. And Well, there might not be lights in Gabriel's Hill, but there's certainly lights down by the Granada and in Lower Stone Street of the similar design to what we've got here. Super Snaps have quite a nice Christmas display with lights there. The Wimpy has a Christmas tree with flashing lights. Now the Muggleton Inn used to be the Royal Insurance building. For many years Royal Insurance was in there, and that's a building in which the facade hasn't really changed, and you can see that in pictures of old Maidstone. And the town hall is decorated with these lights. Almost like a portico. Unfortunately, I did the thing where I tried to adjust my hand a bit, and my thumb went over the screen. So apologies for that. I don't like that, but that sometimes happens when you're filming. And there is the Brenchley, which years ago was a NatWest bank, and was later done up as a mock wine bar for a TV advert when banks were changing, and there was a lady that said, "Oh, now they've turned my bank into a trendy wine bar." Well, it was a NatWest, which is now the Brenchley, and they had a snow machine blowing. I remember being in town that night, and there was a London bus parked over the road there, so to give the impression that this was London. And the lady looked through that window and obviously mocked it up as a wine bar, and ironically now it's a pub. Ball-In is a sports bar which seems to do a roaring trade, particularly at the weekends, and you ladies will have to educate me as to what a bottomless brunch is. I presume it's something a bit like the Chippendales, but perhaps not as raunchy, I presume. In fact, years ago, that was Lodders and Paynes. That was a nice shop because you used to go in there. They used to have material and stuff like that, and you went up a staircase, and there was like a sort of terracey type thing that went along the top, and you could see down into the shop. I've obviously not been into the bar, so I don't know what they did with that. As you can see, we've got those lights here, they're more straight here. And here we have the Beer Keller, which years and years ago was a pub known as the Medway Inn, and it was a skinhead pub, and in the late 70s there was often aggro in there. I think I went in there once, and it did seem a bit intimidating, so I don't think I went in there again. We're now going down towards the river. We're coming up to Mill Street. As you can see, they've extended the one set of lights down to Mill Street, and then there's some lights right down at the far end there. And we have this tree lit up by the cannon, and the Gem of Kent has a Christmas tree, and the Buenos Aires Steakhouse have some flashing things behind there. Yes, so not as much reminiscing as I hoped to do, but did take me back a few of those things, a few of the shops that were there. Dell's, I think it was more the second place that I pointed out rather than the first, and of course Balkets, which I eventually got the right place. Anyway, this is Chris Townsend. I hope you enjoyed this walk around Maidstone Christmas 2024, and bye for now.